La Liga Lounge, it's for the boys. Dan and Houston on again. La Liga Lounge, round up the boys. Tell your wife and tell your friends. We play for keeps and every week we tell it like it is. La Liga Lounge, when all is said and done, we can all agree. FTC.
Welcome in, gentlemen. Another episode of the La Liga Lounge coming at you. Me and Houston, as always. Kevin joining us as a guest. Josh behind the scenes, running the show. We got a full crew here today, boys, and we are pumped because it is playoff time, and the fantasy season is starting to come to fruition here, Hughes. How you boys doing?
Fruition. I'm doing great. Doing great.
Yeah, I could be doing a little bit better, fantasy-wise, but yeah, just fine.
Rough season for Kevin this year, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Uncharacteristically rough for you too, Kevin. This might be one of the worst seasons you've had in history.
It is. Yeah, I've been having a good streak of just making the playoffs. Now, going into a slump. But other than that, yeah.
You had a
Next
pretty
year's
good
New Year.
start to the season, right?
No, not really. 1-1, and then it just went downhill. So
You got last place locked up all by yourself right now, man.
I'm gonna hold on to it
The commissioner chose.
where it was pride.
We're gonna bring the Cho Trophy back to where it belongs, baby.
I believe
no.
Kevin has one of the best all-time records. He has been of a 10-year league history. He has made the playoffs 8 times. He's only not made it twice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Make this a third. Or is this the second, Josh?
I do not believe any stats from this year have been updated into league history.
Yeah.
Yet.
Well, going along the lines of Kevin sucking, Kevin was the lowest points total last week, so he owes us a chug to add insult to injury here. I don't know if Kevin, you might want to just do that right now.
Yeah, let me do that right now. Should I talk about my team right now?
You can, yeah.
For the third time this year? Why it sucks?
I'm pretty sure it's the second. I'll make it short and quick. My top 4 picks just didn't produce. Everyone else on my team I picked up from waivers pretty much. And the only guy I can really trust is David Njoku and Chase Brown. So cheers.
I'm mad about Chase Brown. Should have never dropped him. All right. Kevin's doing his chug, Houston. We have
in our agenda talking about my trade, but I had a bunch of crazy trades.
Yeah.
Obviously, we talked about the Murphy trade. Later that week, I had a huge one with Josh.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of controversy. A lot. I mean, Kevin, we don't have to get into the players and everything and who won or who lost. Everyone thought Josh fleeced me. He's got his championship locked up. Give us your recap from the trade.
Man, well, I saw the trade come in, and I was like, wow, this is a massive trade. I don't know what is going on here. I think Josh kind of swindled you on this, and I saw everyone was pretty much split on this, so that's when I was like, all right, let's put it up for a vote. So it went up for a vote. It was pretty even. I don't know the numbers. I don't have those in front of me, but made the ultimate decision where we got to veto this. And I told both of you, I'm not saying you can't trade. I'm just saying review the trade and maybe throw in an asset here, an asset there, and change it up so it's a little more I'd say even, where it doesn't seem like collusion.
Yeah. You guys know how much I don't like seeing Josh win. I don't like him swindling people.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to bend over a bit, in the shower. I knew I had to drop the soap. Oops, silly me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when we added the Chubb trade in, that didn't go into effect till next week, but you could see overall impact. It was kind of overall more fair then, because whatever I gave him for Chubb, I won that like piece of the trade, and then he probably won the other piece of the trade. But then it gave me players now, avoiding my bye week troubles. And Kevin, there's a funny story. I didn't tell anybody this. I think this was just in a chat with me and Josh, because this was made like Saturday. And you were or Saturday after the waiver wire, like, in the Saturday afternoon. And we were talking Saturday night, and I was 3 or so whiskeys in. And it was like, you're like, nope, it's not going until Tuesday or whatever. And I was like, no, just the Chubb trade. And you're like, no, the whole thing, I can't. And I was like, through my fucking phone, I poured the rest of the whiskey, and I was like, fuck this, I am not doing this league again. I didn't say anything. I was like, just cancel it. And you're like, can't do that either. I was like, I was so fucking pissed. I was like, this league. And then you were like, before I went to bed, I was like, and you're like, no, I'll push it through tomorrow, JK. I'm like, good fuck.
Yeah,
for an hour, I was just heated.
I remember that. I was walking my dog, and I was like, I gotta fuck with Houston. And
I was fucked with, man. I don't know if you knew that, but you had me. I was fucked.
Yeah, I was finding every excuse in the book to tell you it couldn't go through.
He was also texting me, telling me he was just gonna fuck with you as long as he possibly could.
Dude, I was so mad. I was like, never joining. I'm not playing next year. I won't do it. I won't do the podcast, or I won't even speak on. I'm not doing the podcast. I won't join. I'm not gonna answer.
Well, I think the moral, that trade had a lot of controversy with it, but I think what came from it is ultimately a good thing, where we're talking about moving up the trade deadline, which I think is the right move, because trades late in the season do get a little bit sketchy as far as, are they fair? Are they right? So next year Kevin wants to move it to week 9, which I think is far too early. Hopefully we open up to a vote before next season starts, and we'll get that thing locked in place where it ought to be, probably around like week 11, week 12.
Yeah. And now it was what? This year's week 13?
It is. Week 13. It was actually today.
Yeah.
No, it was last week.
It was last week. I was gonna say. Yeah.
My apologies. I thought it was week 13.
So it's like between week 12 and 13.
It was Thursday night before week 13 is how he set it up.
Yeah. I think week 10. I think we should put that to a vote. That'll be interesting if you go 9, 10, 12 as the option.
Yeah.
I would think 10's going to be. I think 10 is the
10's not bad.
10 seems reasonable, I think.
I just think you got to give room for those guys that are on the border to make some moves and change things up,
Was mine 10 or 11? My trade was after between 11 and 12. I think. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. I think that's enough of the trade talk there, boys. The deadline will be updated next year for good reason. Also, Josh has gotten the notes here that we have our comment section live on this video, so comment
on the YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel's live comment section. It looks like, so be the first one. You could be the very first comment in history of the La Liga podcast.
So I ran into TJ Hurley like a month or 2 months ago, and I've always talking about the podcast, right? What's the name of this? And I give him the name, and he's texting me later that night. He goes, "What pussy turned the comments off of this?"
He's a big blogger.
TJ be talking some shit too.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the week 13 roundup here, boys. Had a big week last week. Very, very important games happening there. Houston, one of the most important games out there as well. You want to recap the weeks?
Yeah. So I beat Anthony handedly. Anthony is now 7-6. He's one of 2 teams that can miss the playoffs. Top 4 have them locked up. Josh, Dan, Ruben, Timmy locked into the playoffs. Seeding still at play. Then we had Josh, who just fucking spanked Forbes. Forbes put up good numbers.
He did.
But he beat him. So Forbes, the other guy, potentially on the outs. Either one of them win, they're in. They lose and I win, they're out. So advantage to them, but I got this.
Good chance.
Max his team finally actually did something, and without McCaffrey, who's back on IR. That's fucking wild. But yeah, no, across the board, no one had like a 40-point game. Just finally, Max had a good standing. So good job, Max. You got your team together. Too late.
Yep.
Eric, I didn't know Eric could beat people, but he beat.
And I'll say this too though. Max actually knocked Murphy out of the playoff race, because if Murphy won, he'd be in the same boat that you are right now, Houston.
Would have been hot.
So Murphy's season ended with that loss to Max.
Yeah. I think Murph was a lot of people thought he was going to make the playoffs there. Kevin, you were my long shot to make the playoffs. What happened?
What's up?
I think you're my long shot to make the playoffs.
Yeah, Murph was mine, so that
That's
didn't
a
work
very
out.
long shot. No,
Jeff's season also ended last week from the loss to me. He put up a good point total of 123, but just couldn't hang with the 142. So tough week for Jeff last week. He's out. He's done.
Mm-hmm.
Max is done. Murph is done. Kevin and Eric had an irrelevant game.
Yeah, but it was a fun game, if you will. Just it didn't mean anything. It was just, hey, you know what, guys? Here's this game. Why don't you go play this?
It's a reminder. We got to remember you're still in the league. You're still there playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Participation.
Yeah. And then Houston, I don't know if you talked about Timmy beating Ruben last week, but that was kind of a big game for
Timmy's fighting
standings.
I don't think Timmy can get.
I don't think he can get the 2 seed. No, he can't get the 2 seed unless we tie. Unless me and Ruben tie.
Ooh, wouldn't that be something? Well, you're all 8-5.
Yeah, so me and Ruben, one of me and Ruben's gonna win the game we played because we play each other this week.
Oh, yeah, but it's
and we both have point differential against Timmy by a pretty good margin.
Yeah, but hear me out. So if Ruben wins against you, but it's low scoring, and somehow Timmy pulls out 40 extra points.
37 points. If Ruben beats you in a low scoring, or you beat Ruben in a low scoring, and Timmy wins and outscores you by 37, he would get the 2 seed.
Timmy needs to outscore me by 133.
Am I doing the bad math?
It's flip that. It's if
Ruben
wins.
Ruben would have to win.
Yeah. I guess you're right. He can pass Ruben. I guess we're just getting into the week 14 stuff now because we're there. But
matchups,
yeah. Luckily for me, so me and Ruben, big matchup, kind of for the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
Timmy has an outside chance we were just talking about, but
yeah.
Looking good for me this week, I'll just say, because first time I'm benefiting from the bye. Ruben's got his best 2 players, Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry. At least I think they're his best 2 players. I don't know, but both those guys on bye. So, I'm feeling pretty spry, boys.
Yeah. So I mean, outside of the people that have 100% chance to make the playoffs, Anthony 84%, Forbes 88%, and the one guy that's sitting outside the fence, Huey at 28% chance. And I texted who plays. Anthony plays Eric. I'm not going to text Eric because he's not going to respond, but he needs to get his fucking lineup in order. And then I texted Murphy and I'm like, you get a quarterback that's not on bye. You need to beat Anthony or Forbes. And then I was like, fuck, I'm actually playing Timmy, and he's got like a pretty good squad. Josh Allen, who catches his own touchdown pass. And at that same time, Timmy texted me, shut the fuck up, Timmy. Shut the fuck up. You don't mean that. You're trying to get good karma and stuff. You're not a nice person. Fuck you. I've missed bashing on Timmy's ego this fucking season. So fuck you, Timmy. You're not a nice guy. So I don't love my matchup personally, but I have to keep my head up here because this is what we sold the house for.
Yeah, Houston, you got a chance, and you're the only one on the outside looking in who does have a chance. So you got hope there, buddy. The matchups though are a little bit of a struggle with you playing Timmy. That's the toughest matchup of the three.
Yeah.
The other, Anthony and Forbes get to play, non-playoff teams. So you never know though. You never know. I honestly bet one of them loses. So you just gotta get the dub against Timmy.
I like one of them losing more than me winning. Honestly, looking at it, I need a guy to go off. I'm looking at it right now. That's my match of the week. We're going to match of the week. It's that game. Fuck it. I'm going with me. I'm gonna have one or two of these receivers just go off for a sweet little 102 TD night.
I'm trying to pull up the box score.
I can see that with Higgins. Higgins could go off. Calvin Ridley, boomer bust right there.
And Jigba, he gets like 7 catches a game. Like one of those gets to a TD.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Jones in Atlanta. I don't know. Is the Rams Buffalo? Is that at Buffalo?
You really got Luke Schoonmaker as your tight end? That's a wild move.
Whoa. Shooney has been doing me favors.
Wow. That is wild.
I'm what?
That was wild.
Ferguson is finally back now, so I'm potentially going to move him around.
How are you feeling about Tua? Man, Tua against the Jets.
There is quarterbacks are under consideration because we're playing the Jets, but it's at home. He's been passing a ton. The Dolphins are in it to fight for a spot, right? So
the other guy's on bye. Bo Nix is on bye anyway, Hughes.
I know.
I'm gonna make a move on the waiver wire.
Yeah, just drop Tua.
No, I don't hate that Tua matchup there. Jets defense hasn't been that special.
Yeah.
And it's a good game there, though. It's a good game. Timmy's team is, there's a reason why he clinched already. His team looks pretty strong there. And he's got no bye troubles or anything, I don't think. Oh, he's got a couple guys on bye. Ramondre Stevenson.
Has he been using him this season, Ramondre?
Cam Sutton, Mark Andrews.
I feel like he has been. Ramondre's been pretty solid, right? He's the number 23 ranked running back, so.
I would love Pacheco to just come and take the spot from Kareem. Mm-hmm. But Forbes has Pacheco. I'm dealing with a lot of
variables.
Yeah.
To think about.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be a monster game there. It's gonna be a monster.
Yeah. No. Who is you guys' matchup?
I'll just. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Kevin. You got a matchup?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dan and Ruben. We had a discussion about this earlier, and this is the game for seed number 2, or the second seed. So whoever wins this gets the first week bye in the playoffs. So this is a big game. Yeah, you got to win to stay alive next week.
Yeah, getting that first round bye is a big deal.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So that game, me and Ruben is highly consequential.
I mean, Dan, you're favored by 32 points right now. Yeah. Granted, he doesn't have a running back out. Literally, he has Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor on bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's rough.
Replacement? No.
He has Tajay Spears
legit in the flex spot. I know he's been okay, but come on.
See, this is where the depth comes into play, boys. I mean, I just feel like, Ruben's team's been strong, but he lacks depth, and I think it's going to hurt him this week.
I'd argue I have the deepest team right now.
You might.
But that don't matter if you ain't playing for...
Yeah.
Playing next week, so... Yeah, I like you in this matchup, Dan. I like you to go take the 2 seed, and Timmy can't take it from you if you win. So if Ruben wins, Timmy has a chance to take it, like we said. Who do you like in your matchup there, Kev?
Oh, I went with Dan and Ruben for the game, but Dan is going to take this one. Yeah. Ruben has his best 2 players pretty much on bye, so it's going to be tough, especially with Xavier Legette at the flex. That's
and Tajay Spears as the RB2 or whatever. It's gonna be rough for him. Yeah, I got it set up nicely for me, boys. Yep. All right, my matchup of the week. We haven't talked about this game yet too much. Playoff implications. Gotta have playoff implications, or else it might as well not be your matchup of the week. Yeah. We got Forbes versus Murphy here. I think this is a pretty good matchup in Houston. This is where I think your best chance comes.
I agree.
To make the playoffs here. So I like this matchup quite a bit. Forbes's team is getting pretty healthy too. That's what makes Forbes a little bit scary going into the playoffs if he does make it, because Puka's back. He's got what was the running back you just named a second ago? Pacheco. Yeah. I don't see Pacheco in his lineup for some reason.
On the
But
bench, Brian Robinson on the bye. He's
IR.
doing his little Forbesy shit. He'll put him in.
Okay. He's doing his Forbesy shit. Okay.
But if DeAndre Swift is questionable if he's out.
Yep. And I've been tooting Murph's horn all year to no avail, but I do think Murph's team is pretty strong. Although I'm looking, he's got some rough buys this week. Now I'm looking at it. No CJ Stroud. He doesn't even have a defense right now. He's got 2 defenses on bye. He's got to make some moves.
Flowers. Dobbins got injured. Sorry for trading him to you.
Yeah, he's got to make some. I hate to say it, Houston, but I'm gonna pick Forbes here because I do think Forbes' team is better for this week at least, and so.
Yeah, no, I like Murph here, not because I'm biased either. Assuming he gets a running back in the defense, I think the spread evens out. But I like Murph's matchups. I like Mooney back. I like Odunze. I like Travis Kelce. I like all his skill players. Judy against Pitt. I think Swift's going to be out. He didn't even practice today. Nakua against Buffalo. Good defense. I would hope they try to knock him out. Tracy Jr. New Orleans, pretty good defense. Yeah, I like Murph. I like Murph's team. You were the one that talked to me about matchups earlier this year. That's what it was about. Maybe it was Josh on a podcast. Matchups. And I like Murph's. So
yeah, Murph. It's just hard to even compare Murph's team because he's got 3 guys, 3 positions to fill. He doesn't have a quarterback right now. Both of his quarterbacks are on bye. Both of his defenses are on bye and his kicker's on bye. So he really needs to fill out that roster. And luckily, I think the positions he can fill pretty decently from the waiver wire. So there's a chance. There's no doubt about that, Hughes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think what's the last topic we got? La Liga Lateria.
La Liga Lateria.
Ruben did finally pay me. He paid me with interest too. So I'm gonna have, once Kevin Venmos me 10, I will have $21 to go through a leg. So I don't know how you guys want to do this. We could go double leg. Everyone give 2 legs, and I'll go first column, second column.
I say we just go big with 1. Let's just go big with 1, man.
I would just go big with 1.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even mess with it.
Yeah. Go big. Throw 21 on it. Let's rake in some fucking real money here.
21's a good number. Let's do it. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Then we'll make sure we request the legs when Josh posts the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really hope some of these legs are I don't know, minus 150, minus 200. Feeling good, get a minus 100 in there.
Fair point.
If we're gonna
touchdown scorer in fucking Jets game, come on.
Okay, the Jets one, Jets money line should never be picked whatsoever.
We should try to get the bets in before the Thursday night game, since the Lions are playing this week on Thursday night, and we know the boys are gonna want to get some Lions action. I'm gonna want to get some Lions action. So
yeah, we could just do all Lions.
Just the same game parlay.
No way.
Dude, because same game, you can get 30% profit boost sometimes.
You gotta play those incentives.
Daddy Huey, maybe I put too much money in. I'm only allowed to do $10 max bets on the boost. So if you want to do it, Kev, maybe we give it to you. I'll give you Ruben's 11, and then you could put the 21 in with the boost.
Yeah,
I think do that. I think that's just what I swear my guts tell me the success is.
Okay, hold on, just 1 second.
I'm sending you it now. That's it. That's the play.
Well, hold on. Before we jump the gun here, let's make sure there's boosts available. Oh yeah, 25% profit boost.
What's the max bet? Tell me it's 25.
Let's see. Bear with me here. Oh, yeah, I'm maxed out at 10 as well. Okay, that's fair. Nix that idea. We can still do a big parlay.
What if we each do one though, and at both? I'd rather have 2 bets at 30% boost.
Gotta get your boost, man.
I love the boost.
Yeah. We could do 2 bets.
I say
Just
we
the
go
same
2.
bet. You just place the same bet.
Fuck it.
We could.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Fuck it. Get
All
the
right.
legs. Cool. I don't. You don't have to Venmo me then, Kevin. We're good.
All right. Well, I still need to Venmo you $10, right? Or are you gonna put it in and I'll put it in on my side?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I
I'm
think
good with
that
that.
about. I think that's a
it.
wrap here, boys.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Kevin,
Perfect.
congrats on the loss.
Yeah.
You want to start us? You want to start our sign off?
Yeah, sure.
See,
See you later, boys.
that was like shock. It was great. It was just he went with it because he's sucking, and it was a whole thing.
I had to.
We can all agree